the rain, though, doesn't impact the game too much.
Oh, it will.
Because the arena, I know, is open. There's no closed top over it.
It's windy, too. Can rain and wind sack a quarterback, technically? I'm not sure. But they're certainly going to be dealing with some wet weather during the game. So if you're planning to go, going to have some issues with the weather. 62 degrees, rain likely. I don't think it'll be raining the whole time. Good news is it's not tomorrow. Game tomorrow certainly would feature heavier pockets of rain. Still some good rains coming through during the game, and then into the evening and overnight. It's going to continue through Friday as well. Here's the storm system, center of which is now re-emerging in the Gulf of Mexico. This has crossed Florida very quickly. I don't think it'll have enough time to re-strengthen over the warm waters before turning more northward back into the Big Bend part of Florida and then farther north. You can see some of those outer bands beginning to develop upstate portions of South Carolina, moving into the Appalachian chain and along the Blue Ridge. Those are the areas that are expected to see the heaviest rainfall from this storm. We have a cooler northeast wind and the cloud cover keeping temperatures primarily in the 60s today. There's another front out west. This is going to follow the storm and actually help accelerate it through our area and keep rainfall totals down compared to what they might be just because of the shorter duration of the storm. Behind there lies colder air that's going to start to cool this down, especially by Sunday into early next week. Models by 4 p.m. trying to bring some good rains into Montgomery County. I think give it about 2 hours, and I think the chance for rain is going to start to gradually increase at first and get potentially a little heavier heading into the evening hours tonight. Notice this is not just a big blob of rain coming in. There's going to be periods of drier weather with some breezy winds, but it could rain potentially for a few hours. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be watching these lines of storms begin to develop. Now, what we'll be watching mostly for is rotation within these storms that are embedded in these lines. Those have the best chance of perhaps producing at least some limited severe weather. Even isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out. But western areas are going to by far and away get the best rains throughout. In fact, the way things have been shaping up in the models, a little more of a western jog of this track. There may be significant portions of the area, including the eastern Piedmont, where it's not raining during the daytime tomorrow. By tomorrow evening, rain starts to move through all areas. A few more lines of storms coming in. I think our best opportunity for strong to severe storms will be lunchtime through dinner time and even into the early part of the evening before this begins to move on. We'll see some clearing overnight. That front could generate some Saturday rain in the evening before moving on. As far as forecast rainfall totals go, I think tonight, really depending on how this plays out, we could see a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain with some heavier pockets across portions of our western counties. We get a little bit of a lull midday, and then the bulk of the rain comes through during the evening as the center of the storm tracks through our western areas. I think Triad will likely see about 1 to 2 inches of rain from the storm. 2 inches plus, maybe up to 4 inches with some heavier pockets of up to 6 will be possible in the mountains and foothills, and that's why we have flood watches posted there. They go into effect at 7 o'clock this evening, continue all night, all day Friday, and expire at about 1 o'clock Saturday morning. Severe weather, the other component, especially in the areas farther east. We've had lots of reports of strong winds, and the flow of water and wind has been inundating some of the creeks and waterways that feed into the Atlantic. So that's where we're seeing most of the flooding. Tomorrow, we're expecting at least some isolated tornadoes to pop up and some wind damage in the areas shaded in yellow especially. So it's something we'll be watching very closely, especially for the latter part of the day, but really any time is sort of fair game for tomorrow. So summarizing your local impact, I think for most, the Triad especially, 1 to 2 inches of rain will be possible, 2 to 4 inches, possibly more west. Gusts when they peak during the day tomorrow as the center of the storm gets closer. We're looking at 20 to 40 mile an hour gusts. That can cause some spotty wind damage. We can see some flash flooding. Isolated tornadoes also can't be ruled out. Quick look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures relatively mild tomorrow at 73 degrees. That's why we're forecasting storms. Mild Saturday until the front crosses, and then temperatures really bottom out for the early part of next week.